Hello and welcome to Matrix Live, the first episode of Matrix Live that is actually live in weeks, if not months, if not years. They have been trying to take OpenTuckle Savers away from me, but I will be live with you. So today my guest is Mathieu from the backend team. Mathieu, bonjour. Mathieu has been
Hello
working
there,
on
bonjour.
faster room joins. And Mathieu, so room joins are one of the most painful performance issues of Matrix when it comes to being the first person on your home server to join a room, which is actually something that doesn't happen a lot on matrix.org. So this is mostly going to be a fix that is going to be a life changer for self-hosters like me. We already had an episode with Rich on fast room joins when the effort was kickstarted, and it seemed to be well on its way. Can you remind us what fast room join consists of from the user perspective? So let's not dive in the details right away. And what user experience problem does it solve?
So yeah, like as you said, on matrix.org it's not really a problem because the server has already seen a lot of the rooms already. So at least the big ones, the big public ones, which is the main trouble here. But if you are on a small own servers and you are the first user to join, it can be really slow, especially in a big room like HQ, XHQ. So
Mhm.
you have some kind of spinner of the desk. It's long. It usually times out. You refresh, it's still not there. You're hanging there. You don't really know you're in the void. Did I join? Did I join? I don't know. And then later on, you get the room appearing in your room list. Success, but it was not really a great experience.
Right, so you mentioned HQ, which is the familiar nickname for Matrix HQ, which is the
Yeah.
one of the biggest of Matrix rooms we know, like 40,000 users or something like that. So is it just the number of users that makes it difficult to join, or is it because of something else?
It's mainly the number of users, to be honest. There is something called the state of the room, which
Mhm.
includes if the user has joined or not, if it was invited, for example, or even a lot of other information, potential information. But the bunch of it is really what we call the membership events, which is as a user been joined, kicked, or stuff like that. Um,
Okay, so on the previous episode on fast room joins, it was a while ago. I think it was in late 2022 with Rich. Uh, it seemed to be well on its way, and it can't really be that difficult because what you are trying to do is try to find out who's in the room, maybe not display the latest members, and display a handful of last messages. So it's not that difficult. Why wasn't that solved just in an afternoon?
Yeah, so the problem is not really displaying the last messages, for example. That's pretty easy. But we live in a decentralized world in Matrix, and
Mhm.
it's complicated to handle. You need a lot more info than just the last messages or the couple of last joiner or the people who just talked in the room as a first info. You at least as a first info to be able to send something in the room. Reading is not really the trouble; it's more sending because you need to be able your server need to be able to tell if you have the right to be able to send in the room, either because of power levels that could say this room is read-only for everybody except a couple of people, or if you have just been kicked, for example, or banned from the room. Banned, sorry, not kicked. So yeah, and these rules need to be so to apply these rules, you need to fetch a lot of events. I mean, a bunch of events, not a lot. Uh, but by default, we say but when joining room, we get the full list of people, and this is however unneeded because we don't need to know that everybody that is in a room to know if you can talk or not there. Uh, so it doesn't look that complicated either. But then you have a lot of edge cases in various components of Synapse itself or even Matrix protocol, which makes it that a bit tedious. Just to give you numbers, for Matrix HQ, the global state is 200 megabytes of uncompressed region. So it can seem not that big, but in the end, you still have to collect all of the data in the DB. and then your home server have to ingest it and checking the rules on the way when ingesting all those events, and that can be quite long.
Mhm.
Voilà.
All right.
You have yeah,
Sorry.
sorry. I was going to say that you have a lot more info in the blog post that Rich did in October, or in the MSC 3902, which was also written by Rich, which goes into a lot more details if you want.
Right. So I remember you mentioning to me one issue in particular that was about banning users or not having access to a specific room. It could be easy to do things carelessly and just join users to room really quickly, but if you don't do things properly, you risk to leak information, for example, to people who were banned from a room. So what you are telling me actually is maybe it's not technically that difficult, but there is a lot of edge cases that need to be considered in order not to erode the trust that people put in Matrix. So this is an exciting change, and me as a self-hoster in particular, I'm really excited to try that. I must confess, I'm not in Matrix HQ because I have a single person instance, and it's been terrible to try to join that room. When can I try that, and what do I need to do to enable it?
So it should be live with all the last fixes and tests that we did recently on 1.76 version. We plan to enable it by default there. So
Okay.
once you update to that, you should have it by default.
So
Except if we found
176.
last minute trouble, it's
Okay,
not out of option, of
176
course.
is the next version that is going to be
Yes,
released early next
the
week.
week. Yeah, indeed. And so you already have a boolean that you can put to true. We plan to default that to true for next version. You can still go back and put that to false quite easily in case of. So in case there is something wrong, it's quite easy to disable it. But it should be mostly safe in the sense that worst case scenario, you will not be able to send messages during the fast join, which is still a better experience, I guess, than nothing working and not even seeing the room. So yeah.
All right, so it's going to be enabled by default, and if I want, I can opt out of that. This is going to be in the release notes, I believe, the setting
Oh, yeah.
to set to false. Okay, so this is something I can use on my production server, even if I'm, I don't know, a large entity that relies on Matrix and really, really, really needs Matrix to work. You are feeling really confident that this is going to work. This is not a hack.
I don't think it's a hack, no. It's complicated, but it's not a hack. Not much else to say. I didn't design the stuff. I'm new to the backend team, but some other people way smarter than me did it, and I have confidence that it will be fine.
All right, fantastic. Is there anything else you want to add to conclude the episode, which was quite short, but anything you want to hype us about?
Oh yeah, right. I have a talk about that at FOSDEM, so it will be in the Matrix track. I don't know exactly the name, but
It's Matrix Dev
Matrix,
Room, yeah.
yeah, Matrix Day Room. It's planned to be recorded because I think we only have half a day of live ones, but it should be available on the internet pretty soon. And I will go a lot more in technical detail there. I will go through some edge cases, for example, that I didn't really have time to go here.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, Mathieu. To conclude the episode, I would like to give you, the community, an update on our call to support us financially. So individuals are answering the call and keep answering the call. I get regular updates in my mailbox that people are making donations on our donor box. Thank you very much. It means a lot to have a community that's behind us, that believes in our mission and is ready to support us. We have a few organizations who showed up to support as best as they can, mostly small to medium businesses. They are able to donate a few hundreds to thousands of euros, which is a significant commitment for them given their size, and we really appreciate the effort. Thank you very much as well. There is one organization that showed up to make the kind of commitment we'd expect all large organizations to make to allow us to go full steam on Matrix. We're still in talks with them right now, but other than that, large organizations, did not really answer the call yet. We expect to have to solicit them individually and share a more personalized message to them. This is time we'd love to spend working on improving Matrix instead, but we will get to it. If you work for an organization that relies on Matrix, you can help us. Please advocate internally for a membership to the Matrix Foundation. We need it to keep the Matrix ecosystem in a good shape, to work on performance updates, and more generally to make Matrix a joy to work with. As usual, I'm leaving 2 links in the description, one to the donor box for individuals and one to the membership form for organizations. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and I'll see you next week in Brussels at FOSDEM.